For episode 3, I'm writing a new piece of music that will represent the celebration of James Webb Space Telescope, and I'm calling it the NGST. The original name of the space telescope was the Next Generation Space Telescope. Next Generation, man, it sounds like Star Trek, man. Next Generation. And that was a pretty cool name, which I liked. NASA decided, without really consulting the rest of the scientific community, to rename the telescope the James Webb Telescope. So, okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. A celebration of this Next Generation Space Telescope, which is really incredible. I'm sure you've heard about it. But the music that I'm writing is going to represent not just the celebration of the successful launch, which is always kind of a scary moment, and not just the fact that we've got these first images that are just amazing, that represent, being able to see back 10 billion years into the past, almost to the time of the Big Bang when the universe was created, virtually, what we think of it being the universe anyway. But in addition to that, all kinds of incredible other science that's being done. It's an amazing thing. But there was also all the history that went behind that. The original conception of this telescope. And so the music will show, it'll represent the initial dream of the scientists, the people from the Astronomical Society and everything, and all these different organizations that thought of this incredible idea, what struggles people went through to develop the whole thing, but also the music's going to represent the growth of the telescope, the growth of the idea. I want to represent the history that went even before the telescope was even conceived of. And what came before is other astronomers, other scientists, and other people, by the way, who were frustrated, who might have wanted to become scientists, who might have wanted to become astronomers, and they didn't have the opportunity to become scientists, to be able to study the stars because they were held back for various different reasons. Some of them were societal reasons. So we're going to go into a little bit of discussion about people who were denied the ability to become great scientists. And the music will be a little bit sad at that time because it'll represent lost dreams, sort of like dreams that were stillborn, that didn't ever come to life. And that struggle of people who weren't able to dream big. But then we'll also show the success. So you're going to hear in the music a mix of happy and sad. And you'll hear that in the happy and sad music that I'm going to be using. Obviously, for those of you with a musical background, you know that, my basic lessons to my little kids when I'm teaching them how to play music is music that's in a major key. So usually we think of that as being kind of happy. Music in a minor key is kind of sad or gloomy or, that kind of thing. So you'll hear this in the music. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in some future YouTube videos and parts of my podcast, the audio podcast. Also, we'll deal with talking about the nature of the different music and how I create it, what it means so far as how it relates to these historical subjects, and also how I put it together and why I put it together that way.